My dear friends at home, let me show you the kind of ingredients we're going to use for the toppings of the pizza. This is how it looks. This is what you want. Can you see that? Can you see that? Crushed tomatoes. We got naughty mozzarella, arugula, basil, candied walnut pesto, smoked duck, oregano. If you've seen the first video on how to make the pizza dough, now I'm going to show you an even better one of how to top your pizza. And I think single-handedly, it is probably the most important one of them all, because this is where you get all your kids, mothers, fathers, aunties, uncles at home, everyone to come on and do their own pizza. So there is a science to it, and we want to think, okay, what kind of cheese we're going to use. That's really important, the type of cheese. Do not get the cheap supermarket cheese that's already been shredded. Shred your own cheese. Shred your own cheese. Parmesan, cheddar, shred them on your own. That's going to give you loads and tons of flavor. Think about sauces. Does it have to be a boring tomato sauce? Do not put tomato paste on your pizza. Make your own tomato sauce. What we do, we crush. This is called a no-bake tomato sauce, no-cook tomato sauce, which is crushed tomatoes. You put them in boiling water, you crush them with some beautiful basil, olive oil, salt, pepper. You're going to get flavor. And does it have to be so boring just to do a tomato sauce? No. You can actually look at different types of sauces. And here you have a cream-based sauce. So this is garlic, black pepper, parsley, cream, and we reduce this so this can be a beautiful base. So if you want like meat or seafood based sauces, that is the way to go. And cheese, think about the fresh cheese options you have. Use a mixture of dried aged cheese and fresh cheese. And a little pro tip, the fresh cheese, some of it you only put at the end. You don't even cook it. You use the residual heat of the pizza to cook the cheese. Okay, let me show you now quickly 2 pizzas that you're gonna do at home and you're gonna make, and it's gonna be the best pizzas ever. So now we're gonna do a simple base. So we're gonna take the no-cook tomato, remember, salt, pepper, crushed tomatoes, tiny bit of tomato paste, a little bit of brown sugar. So we're going to put this on top. So I'm going to think we're doing sort of a basil pizza for this one, and we want to give a twist on the basil pizza, not the same old regular stuff. We want to just add a little twist to it. So get creative in your houses. Think, open the fridge, see what you have that you're going to put on that is really good. So don't have to smother the whole thing with tomato sauce. You can have little spaces like that. That's good enough. And now what we're going to do, we're going to grate a little bit of cheese. So get your good old-fashioned grater and just roll it down. Look at all that cheese, and sometimes a big lump goes off. It doesn't matter. Just roll more of that cheese on. Sometimes you don't want too much cheese on it, because if you put too much cheese, you're gonna mask the other flavors. And to add that salty goodness, remember we're going for natural MSG, which is your aged Parmesan, Grana Padano or Pecorino. So what we're going to do, we're going to grate some of this on, and you don't want too much, as I said, because you don't want to mask the flavors of the cheese and the tomato and the dough. And let me ask you viewers at home, what do you think is most important in a pizza? Is it the toppings or is it the crust? What do you think is really important? 3-second answer. You probably know the most important thing is the crust. The crust, think of pizza as a pie. You want it to be a pie. It's not just that frozen base. This is the one that gives you all that flavor. Look at the jiggle on that. So what we're going to do to this, we're going to add a pesto on this. And this is walnut pesto. It's candied walnut pesto that's going to go on. And this is going to give amazing crunch. And the pesto here, we're using cashew nuts. So this cashew nut flavor is going to come out really well. Semi-dried tomatoes are going to go, and we're going to use fresh cheese to top this off. We're going to use fresh cheese. So you can use a combination of cheese, some to put in the oven and some after it comes out of the oven. And after that, we're going to add this tomato confit, which is a beautiful reduction of basil, and it's got olive oil, garlic, and Himalayan pink salt. And as you know, we don't use any MSG in anything we do. So in order to replace that beautiful umami flavor, you need to add different elements inside. So this is done. Very simple. Don't meddle with it. A little bit of salt and pepper. That's all you need. For the second one, oh, I almost forgot. We're going to add this hydroponic basil that is going to be really nice, that we're going to top on top. And a little bit of this olive oil. What it's going to do is going to add a beautiful crust So we're gonna add a crust to the pizza, and we're gonna get this in the oven. For the second pizza, what we're going to do, as I said, you don't always have to use tomato. You can use this beautiful cream base, and you can prepare this ahead of time. And the good thing about making pizza is you can actually prep the stuff ahead of time. So when you have guests over or people coming over, you just need to wait to put it in the oven. Do not flood your pizza. Do not flood your pizza with sauce. Remember, think of pizza as a good sandwich. You want the balance of the meat, balance of the cheese, balance of the tomato, and you want to have that perfect bite, not too hard, not too soft. That's what you want. So now we put the cream base on. What we're going to do, what you think are good mixtures for cream base? Tomatoes, sun-dried tomatoes, sweetened onions. That sounds good. I like that. What about duck? Some smoked duck I think will be good. A little bit of basil. Now, same concept. Grate the cheese. We're going to grate the cheese. We're going to go on. That's really important. Not too much cheese. Don't be over generous with the cheese because it's just going to spoil the flavor. And here we're going to grate some cheddar. And this is aged cheddar we're using, so it's going to bring great flavor as well. And to this, what we're going to do, we're going to add some smoked duck slices. These are thinly smoked duck. You do not have to cook this. This already has been cured. You're just going to throw it on the pizza. And pizza is not something, it's not a fancy thing, where you're in a fine dining restaurant and you put stuff on like that. No. Have fun with it. Use your hands. Be creative. Allow your hands to feel the textures of everything. Use your hands, feel the pizza, and get everything on it nicely. So now we're going to top this off with a little bit of mozzarella. And what we're going to do, we're going to get this into the oven, and we're going to bake it at 260 degrees for about 4 minutes. And remember, if you have a house oven, you want to use the pizza stone. Get the oven as hot as possible. As hot as possible. If your oven can go to 400 degrees, even better. So what I'm going to show you, after that, when it comes out, what we're going to do is, if you can bring the pizzas that have already been cooked in the oven. I stand corrected. I think I got excited and said 260 degrees. Crank your oven up right to the maximum. You can even get it to 300-400 degrees. It's amazing. Victor, I want you to pan down here and have a look at the beautiful pizzas that have come out. This is how it looks. This is what you want. Can you see that? Can you see that? That is what you want. That is the grand finale that you want. That crust that builds. It's a pie. It's not a pizza, it's a pie. A pizza has character, has texture. And now to garnish and finish this pizza, what we're going to do for this basil pizza, as I showed you earlier, we can add a little bit more of this candied walnut pesto that is just going to bring flavor and it's going to bring texture and bite. And to that, we're going to add some mozzarella cheese, which is a little bit of this mozzarella. This is buffalo mozzarella from Malaysian buffalo milk, and it's amazing. This is going to give you so much flavor and texture. And what I want is that, can you imagine, without a wood fire oven, you can achieve that. So beautiful oven temperature gives you that beautiful flavor. So use a pizza cutter, cut the pizza. This should give you about 8 slices, but if you're like me, and I want to have 4 slices, I don't want to share this with anybody, so your slice can be really, really, really big, and that's how I like it. Can you see that? And if it comes off like that, that's what you want. That's exactly what. Look at it, steaming, nice, gorgeous, and because you haven't melted, it's different textures of cheese on that. That is what you want. Now I'm going to show you. So this was the tomato base. Now I'm going to show you how to garnish this beautiful cream base with the duck and the onion. We're going to add some nice peppery arugula on top, and that's going to add lots of flavor. It's going to give you a nice pepperiness. And remember, I said we got to add 2 textures of cheese. One that has already been cooked and one that is raw. So we're going to just take it out from the brine with and it's all going to be all a bit messy, but doesn't matter. You want to get your hands messy, get it gooey, and you're going to put all that cheese on top so that it's going to use the residual heat of the pan of the pizza to cook it. And now we're going to just finish with a little bit of reduced balsamic vinegar, what I mean. So we're going to add it on like that, a small drizzle. That's going to give that beautiful sweetness, a little bit of sourness, and then we're going to cut into it. I'm going to show you how good it's going to be. So you can even hear that crunch when I cut the pizza, and that crunch is what you want to hear because that's all the flavor that's there. So Victor, I think you got to come over here and get some of this and see that. I'm going to lift it up, and then you're going to see that flavor and the texture. Hang on, let's do this for this slice. So if you look at that, that's all the flavor. And look at the cream is nicely melted. There's a little bit of crust on the pizza. Look at that. There's a little bit of sponge down here. Navin Karu, signing out Food Revolution. Leave your comments inside. We'll get back to you. If you want the detailed recipes, check the link in the bio. Signing out. See you soon. Wow.
Okay, can we take a photo?